Dude freaking fights with a scimitar. Curved swords, dude. Curved swords.
Have you seen those warriors from Hammerfell? They have curved swords. Curved swords. Wait, Infinite fights with a scimitar?
It appears like it.
What?
Infinite's sword looks like a scimitar.
Where does he have a sword?
He fights with a sword, like when he's still in the Jackal Squad.
Okay, that's what I was thinking. I'm like, I'm willing to bet this is pre.
You're telling me that this sword ain't a scimitar?
I would argue it's not.
It looks like a scimitar to me.
Yeah, we are looking at the same image. It just looks.
It's curved. It's curved. What do you mean it's not a scimitar?
Oh my god.
Do you also notice something about Infinite's demeanor? Something about his face when you look at his face in this picture?
Okay, let me pull that picture back up.
Look deeply. Look deep into my boy's eyes. What do you see, Lycos?
Heterochromia.
And who else has heterochromia?
Okay, cool. We were thinking the same thing. Yeah, the Commander Abraham Tower.
It's a connection.
However, and
we found the lore connection.
It's funny because the eyes are the same colors, but
wait,
they're reversed.
Wait, are they actually?
Yeah, it's yellow and blue.
Really? But in this case, it's blue and yellow.
Well,
dude.
They're the same colors. It's just they're reversed.
You're right, dude. I was farther down in the wiki page for Infinite the Jackal, which, by the way, is what this episode is about. By the way, the Jackal.
Is it?
It says that the two heterochromatic characters in Sonic are Abraham and Infinite.
Yeah, and it was
I guess there's only two.
It was interesting because I noticed that as well with like the heterochromia. I'm like, oh, it's the same colors as Tower. And I was curious if there was like a reason for that, which like maybe it was like a common color combo for heterochromia, which it's some people may have a blue iris with a small patch of brown. That was as close as I got on that one. So could just be a fun little coinkydink.
It's possible. Either a coincidence or totally planned. Maybe there's a connection between Infinite and Abraham. Maybe they're just like long lost cousins. I could draw out another family tree.
How are you going to relate the commander, who we barely know his family tree, to a jackal? A Nubian jackal.
Listen, Lycos. I don't want to have to inform you, but I know Abraham is a human. I know Infinite is a jackal.
Uh-huh.
But if there is a relation here somewhere, it's gonna get a little dicey.
It is. I mean, we're gonna go into some Sonic 06 territory, and we don't want to go there.
We'd be about to get into our own reality, Lycos. Not quite the best one either. Dude, Infinite is so cool.
Dude, again, his design,
a cool character.
Okay. Also, did you read up on the concept and creation?
I mean, from what I understand, Infinite was kind of based around the image of Anubis, like the Egyptian god. But if there's more to like how his design came to be, like, I don't know. What do you got on that, Lycos?
So Sonic Team really wanted this dude to be like, they want him to be cool but evil,
which they've succeeded on, by the way.
Yeah,
very, very much so.
So his overall motif is actually derived from Namahage. I hope I'm pronouncing that right.
Oh, is that a yokai?
I believe it would fall under yokai because it's a demon-like being from Japanese folklore.
Okay.
But they wanted to focus on the keywords of cruel, clinging to power, and not believing in bonds. And basically, Namahages, they look scary, but they also have like a cool and catchy silhouette. So that's part of why like they want Infinite to have that as well. And it was kind of interesting. So he went through a couple of design changes. Like one of his original ones, he was supposed to be kind of like a ghost.
Really? Do you have photo images for this?
We do not, I'm afraid. The wiki does not provide.
That'd be so cool.
And there was one where he had like monster-like horns. But apparently, like, one design element that they kind of kept was having large hands with sharp claws.
Oh yeah.
And also,
I mean,
originally, they were not thinking of a jackal.
interesting.
Yeah, they were originally thinking about a buffalo motif.
Buffalo. Well, with the large horns, that would kind of make sense.
Yeah, and plus, like,
Interesting.
I don't know. My first thought was something like big, monstrous, and strong, kind of like a minotaur.
Yeah. Oh, fair.
Yeah, but it got scrapped in favor of the jackal motif.
Yeah, and like the jackal motif, like I don't know enough about like the personality archetypes that we tend to assign to animals, like the jackal, for example. Like in my head, jackals are like the dogs of the sand, I guess.
Yeah, okay.
I don't know much about jackals.
Yeah, well, it's part of that because like you think jackal, you might think Anubis, which you'll think Egypt, and then sand.
Pyramids.
And with Infinite's mask, they actually, like, one of their ideas was they wanted to have it have him have lots of like bandages and have like the mask scratched up.
Ooh.
But they actually scrapped this.
Yeah, because that's a pretty damn clean looking mask.
Because they're like, oh, well, that shows signs of weakness. Which that's what Infinite's all against.
His whole thing is like he's got an inferiority complex.
He does. He's
absolutely like, I'm weak. I've never played Sonic Forces before, but I was looking through some clips from the game, and during the scene where Shadow just basically just punishes Infinite and his team, after Shadow just chaos controls away, Infinite's like, I'm weak. I'm weak. And he screams
because Infinite,
his whole personality.
Yeah, Infinite. Are you familiar with Danganronpa at all?
I mean, a little bit. I played the first game.
So he had this title of being the ultimate mercenary.
Oh. Now I see where you're going with that.
Yeah. So of course I was just like, I'm Infinite, the ultimate mercenary.
I'm weak. What's wrong with that, really?
But yeah, like really he took like pride in that, and then he absolutely just got wrecked by Shadow.
Yeah. and like the whole like this complex of his goes so far for him to basically go against the wishes of the squad that he was leading, because he was the leader of the Jackal squad, which had, I believe, 4 other Jackals. And I want to say that although Infinite's actual name is Infinite, it's not like he renamed himself after the incident. His original name would have been Zero. And there might have been some implications from, I can't remember the guy's name, but he's an important guy. We'll find his name later. That the other Jackals were probably named Uno, Dos, Tres, and Cuatro. Quatre, I believe.
Oh.
But yeah, so it seems like they're all named after the numbers. But when Infinite went to the Eggman base with the Jackal squad to basically try to, get some money off of the equipment that Eggman was doing, and he got caught. Eggman was like, Infinite basically threw his scimitar dagger down, made contact with the Phantom Ruby, had a little bit of a vision to the future, and Eggman's like, join me? And Infinite's like, maybe. And the squad's like, don't do it, man. Don't do it. That man's evil.
Yeah.
But because of this vision he had, he's like, yeah, you know what? I'm weak.
Well,
I need power. I'll join you, Eggman. Let's change the world together.
Well, yeah, because he openly admits that he's kind of bored with like the current world.
Yeah. And then even after that, I would suppose that this is equivalent of him just like leaving his squad behind, because I think they do maybe make an appearance, or they might die after one of the events in Sonic Forces.
No, because to my knowledge, his fight with Shadow where he starts screaming he's weak, I believe that was where they were killed.
Oh, interesting. Okay, I thought I read somewhere that the Jackal squad was kind of against him.
Because after that initial meeting with Eggman, like he joins Eggman and his squad is still with him.
Okay. But even after that, right? After he gets like totally beaten down by Shadow.
Mhm.
He's like, I'm so weak that I'm gonna let Eggman just technologically have his way with Infinite's body. You can put the Phantom Ruby in me, a prototype, whatever you want, man. Just make sure I get a cool helmet. And by goodness,
Yeah,
he got a
and
cool
he
helmet.
did. He got his.
That he did. That he did.
Because again, we had that quote last episode about like casting away his weak old identity.
Yeah. And like I really love the design of the helmet too.
Oh yeah, no.
Like in the comic photo that they have, his right eye is the blue one, and it's got a scar over top of it.
Yep.
And the right part of his mask is blacked out.
Yep.
There's no eye in there, and it's more broken up and kind of looks like a lightning bolt, more so than the side that actually has the eye on it.
Mm-hmm.
And also the eye underneath is, red. It's got the yellow on it, probably, related to the yellow eye beneath. So I love the design. In addition to, you were commenting on the fact that he's got claws. Like he's got claws, dude.
Yeah, dude,
he's got gloves that are
got
spiky.
Claws.
That's wild.
Also, one thing
and also like
I did not realize about Infinite's helmet is his ears are reversed colors. One is black with white, the other is white with black.
Oh, I see that. I see that now. I'm looking at the image now.
Like, I was reading it and I'm like, what? And I look at it, I'm like, oh, I didn't even notice that.
That's cool. Maybe it's supposed to represent the alternating of the yin and the yang, perfectly in line and in harmony, as all perfect things should be.
That makes no sense for this character. He doesn't want harmony. He's a sadist.
I mean, I'm not going to go too far down the path of like the music motifs that Infinite's got going for him. The Infinite theme, the it's so cool. Oh my god! And the lyrics of the song it's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I like, but like even still, like the words in the song, when everything you know has come and gone, only scars remain all through it all. When there's no one left to carry on, this pain persists. I can't resist. That's what it takes to be infinite. I don't know. When I was listening to that again, I was like, this doesn't feel like it's on point for Infinite at all. Actually, and oddly enough, I feel like despite the fact that it's Infinite's song, it's kind of talking from the perspective of the people who are being subjugated under the Eggman Empire. Because, like, I mean, I guess you could say Infinite lost his squad.
Yep.
Everything you've known has come and gone, right? It's gone, I guess, right? That's a way. But like 99% of the world is taken over by Eggman and the forces in Sonic Forces. That seems like everybody else has lost a hell of a lot more, but like, perspective, I guess.
Yeah, because, I mean, again, he helped do that. That's what he does. Because it's him and his Phantom copies.
Yeah. And what's weird too about the Phantom Ruby, like we dove into the Phantom Ruby a little bit during the last episode. It's mostly illusions. Yeah. It can cause people to hallucinate images, but we see here in Sonic Forces with Infinite as well, he can do things like create things that can actually hurt people. Could be a plan of mine. He can create spaces, entire inner dimensions, the null space specifically in Sonic Forces. Yeah. He can create phantom copies that, again, maybe it's a trick of the mind, can cause damage, but it can also ravage cities. But
that's why
even at the very end of Sonic Forces, when Infinite is defeated, and subsequently, I didn't realize this the first time, he gets absorbed by the Phantom Ruby.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
And then the Phantom Ruby just like erases everything.
Yeah.
So was it all just an illusion the entire time? Was Infinite just an illusion?
So
is he even real?
First off, I would argue yes, because he existed before. Well, obviously,
but like, how long has the Phantom Ruby existed for?
Well, I mean, since Sonic Mania.
What if it's been a whole thing the whole time? I mean, I assume.
Also, the fact that like he had a squad, and the fact that they all got killed before they did anything with like the Phantom Ruby itself. That's why I'm like, okay, no, he was real.
But like, also, how far back does the reality bending of the Phantom Ruby go?
So going with the illusions, did you ever watch Yu-Gi-Oh growing up?
A little bit.
It's kind of like the holograms that they used in that show. Where, you know, getting attacked by a hologram still did actual physical damage to the other person. I feel like we're kind of operating on those rules.
Yeah, you know what? There's a little bit of like magical realism here, a little bit of a extension of the behind the curtain. I mean, when you think about it, like if all we are minds inside of meat bags, and our mind is the thing that gives us a perception of the world. Like if you can
We are
modify
all
my perception of the world,
mechas. We are all flesh mechas, and our brains are the pilots.
ew, that's so true. But ew,
Have fun sleeping tonight.
I want to talk about the worlds that Infinite. I guess I guess this is kind of the Phantom Ruby more so than Infinite, but like what we see in Sonic Forces are a number of spaces that have been transformed by the power of the Ruby, ideally by Infinite's hands.
Yeah.
We've got places like the Mystic Jungle, which is like a big swirling forest of large ass vines, which I believe you fight Infinite in. You've got the Null Space, which is supposedly just a pocket dimension of absolutely nothing but a bunch of purple cubes.
Yeah,
which is common.
Because like I know those were like the main like distortion like anomalies that he kind of caused, were like the null zone.
Yeah. And I might have read wrong, but it seemed like the Null Space may have appeared in another game as well, but I can't quite remember. But he can also create phantom copies, which you kind of touched upon a little bit. He can basically just bring anybody back as a phantom form. He brought back Zavik from Sonic Lost World.
Yeah,
brought back Chaos from the Sonic Adventure series,
and he also had Shadow and Metal Sonic.
Yeah, that actually confused me. I was like, wait, isn't Shadow just he's on our side, right? But he can make phantom copies of Shadow to attack back. Yeah.
Oh my god,
it's just another Shadow clone.
That's hilarious that we have a fake of a fake. Because I'm just thinking of Sonic's line about calling him Faker.
I found you, Faker.
And it's like, oh, if you think I'm the Faker, oh, you haven't seen anything yet. Hang on. Give yourself a couple games, kid.
You want fake? I'll show you fake. Oddly enough, too, like I was doing additional research into the Phantom Ruby about what the effects of the Phantom Ruby was on the other people or other beings that have utilized it. So in Sonic Mania, the Phantom Ruby comes into contact with totally normal egg robos, combining their personalities of the egg robos with the animals inside of them, creating the hard-boiled heavies.
Oh, so
that I thought was really cool, but that's all by the power of the Phantom Ruby.
Interesting.
However, with prolonged use of the Phantom Rubies, they lost their grip on reality, and they went insane. Which I guess is pretty easy for robots. It's just in their programming. Oddly enough, we don't see Eggman using the Phantom Ruby too much, aside from like, his prototypes that he builds and the mechas that he uses with it. But it doesn't seem to me that Infinite ever goes insane with the power of the Ruby. And I wonder if it's because he's using the thing that's embedded in his chest is not the real Phantom Ruby.
No, yeah, it's
a prototype.
It's the finalized prototype. Or
yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah, no, I feel like that's the right term there.
Yeah.
And yeah, he seems to, it could also be the fact that like there's not much of him left.
Possibly.
Because I mean, it's the vibe of like literally like he has nothing left to lose. So why not just give what left he has to the Phantom Ruby and hey, let's go bonkers. Let's go have fun.
Hey, that's what it takes to be Infinite.
Except this jackal does not learn from other media.
Oh yeah?
So it forces during like one of their final fights when the Resistance is attacking Eggman's Empire Fortress.
Love that.
He using his Phantom Ruby, he creates a virtual sun and plans to drop it on the Resistance. He literally just like he didn't learn from any Dragon Ball, and he's like, "Oh, the Spirit Bomb always works."
Oh
so
man!
Like, I'm just gonna Spirit Bomb. That's
History
what it is.
Doomed to repeat itself.
And of course,
that's so funny.
Of course, it doesn't work because the Spirit Bomb never works.
That's so fun. I didn't even think about that. Wow, what an association. Oh my gosh.
But yeah, then it was like after he got his snot kicked in, he got sucked into the original
That he did. That was wild. And then, for all intents and purposes, that's where Infinite's story ends canonically.
Mm-hmm.
Aside from like the little what is it? The idol group thing that he did with Shadow.
The Otherworld comedy.
The Otherworld comedy? Yeah.
Yeah, where
apparently Infinite won the poll to appear with Shadow the Hedgehog with a minor majority. 50.1% of the votes.
Yep.
Which I guess is why they were just like, all right,
do you know who he almost lost to?
Was it Knuckles?
No, it was Cream.
Really?
Yes. Yeah, that 51% was him over Cream.
50.1%.
50.1%. I'm sorry.
It was over Cream. Wow.
Yeah, where did I
wonder if that's what's that to be said about like the associations of the polls at the time. Like, I guess were people voting for Infinite versus Cream the Rabbit, or were people voting between Shadow and it?
No, it was his opponent was Cream. Were
the people voting between Cream and Infinite,
yes.
or were they just voting between, but in their heads, Lycos?
No, because
Shadow and Cream or Shadow and Infinite. Because I want to believe that the world came together to say, no, we're shipping Shadow and Infinite together.
I think Shadow and Cream would have been much funnier. Because, again, Otherworld comedy, Infinite won a poll to appear alongside Shadow the Hedgehog with a 50.1% of the votes, with his opponent being Cream the Rabbit. However, he lost the second poll to appear alongside Knuckles against Sonic.
Huh. Well, I don't know. I think Shadow and Infinite go pretty well together. They're both edgelords beyond comprehension.
Also, I have to say, I love their J-pop outfits.
Oh yeah. Wait. These outfits here?
Yeah.
That's so good.
Oh man, no.
Gotta love that outfit.
They be popping. I'm like, nah, I dig that.
there ain't nothing better than inferiority complex Jackal next to superiority complex Hedgehog. Beautiful.
Also, the freaking
I'm the weakest Jackal alive. I'm the ultimate
the storyline for the J-pop idols is so it's ridiculous.
Wait, I don't know anything about it. Tell me more, Lycos.
After the end of the war, Dr. Eggman, having one weapon left still charged with the Phantom Ruby's power, used it to envelop the world in illusions known as Otherworlds. As a side effect, Infinite is brought back and put into the role as a J-pop idol alongside Shadow the Hedgehog. After a successful concert in what was once an Eggman base, Shadow and Infinite have an argument backstage regarding Infinite's performance.
Wait, it's literally the same thing. Shadow, you're pathetic. That performance was weak. And Infinite's like, I was weak.
No, Shadow's like,
my dance moves were not on fleek.
Shadow's like, oh, it's not compared to the perfection of mine. And to never show his pathetic face.
Sound a little familiar?
Yeah.
In my head, Infinite then like just took his helmet off, threw it to the side, and sobbing and weeping just ran off stage. Only had to have the paparazzi be like, Infinite, why aren't you wearing your mask? Is that a teardrop I see? Are you showcasing your weakness? And him being like, get away from me.
No comments. But so
no comments.
So Infinite disappears for a while, and then he finds Eggman, who has the last of the Phantom Ruby prototypes, grabs it, contemplates about using it to regain his power. Then his body begins to disappear into light. He smiles, nods, and then vanishes before making a decision. His ultimate fate is left intentionally ambiguous. i.e., they're not going to kill him off because they might use him later.
Yeah, who knows? Sayonara,
Infinite the Jackal. I feel like I should say Jackal the Infinite.
The Infinite Jackal? Like, Jackal the Infinite? Infinite the Jackal?
Infinite the Jackal? Jackal Infinite.
Jackalfinite?
I don't understand.
Jackalnit? Infinal.
Also, I love this quote here about what Infinite said to Shadow after he bumped into Shadow again after like becoming like full Infinite.
Oh yeah.
I've only become what I am because of you, yet you don't remember. But I suppose that's the way it goes. It simply means that the old me was too weak, too pathetic to be remembered. And now you've become nothing more than an insect waiting to be crushed underfoot.
Dude, it's so epic.
Oh, I love that because, again, Shadow is just like, who are you? I don't remember you.
I feel like it would have been so much funnier if Shadow was like, yes. I've called a lot of people pathetic, but for you, I really meant it. Now I remember.
Oh, wait. Were you that... wait. Oh, the group of like 5 guys? Yeah. It's like, wait, give me a minute. Oh, wait, were you the one crying in the corner like a little baby? Or
that was it.
Oh, yeah, it was.
Jackass, 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 and jackass. Yeah, I'm remembering now. And Infinite's just getting like, just shaking his fists.
Yeah, like, no,
it's Jackal, not Jackass.
What's a jackal? I'm not familiar.
And then Shadow's just like, nah, pretty sure it's Jackass. Chaos Control. And then he gets kicked and beaten with an iron pole.
Mm-hmm.
That's Infinite's got Yakuza energy. big Yakuza energy. I am not weak. Shadow's just like, stop, please. What are you doing? Sonic comes by. He's like, what the hell are you doing? This is a children's game.
We're not
Infinite
done
the Jackal,
yet.
completely unhinged. Eggman comes by. He's like, whoa. Wasn't expecting that to happen. I really know how to pick them.
Oh. Well, might...
the Avatar is just holding... Oh, no, what is that? The Avatar from Sonic Force is just holding their hands over top of classic Sonic so that he can't see it.
Also...
Oh my god! The horror!
Ian Flynn, we talked about him last episode.
That was the guy!
Yeah,
That's the guy!
That was the comic guy, yeah.
No, it's not the comic guy.
Yes, it is.
Ken Penders.
No, Ian Flynn is also a comic guy. He's IDW.
Oh, yes. There's 2 people.
So, yeah, these are 2
just
names
like
that we're going to have to remember.
Perfect.
So,
inferiority, superiority, IDW, Archie.
So, he was the one who asked, like, what Infinite's real name was, and it's like, yeah, it's Infinite.
That was Ian.
And also... according to Flynn, along with the Jackal Squad, they are not allowed to use Infinite in the IDW Sonic the Hedgehog comics.
I wonder why.
Creators are just like, no, you're not, no.
Let's see, the source...
Also interesting, Infinite was originally supposed to be debuted in Sonic Mania.
Yeah, but it was scrapped because it makes sense, right? Because that's where the Phantom Ruby is debuts.
Yeah, but honestly, I feel like debuting the Phantom Ruby first was actually like a better idea because now we have this thing that we already like know, and now it's like, oh yeah, we're literally stitching that inside this new character to give him the powers of this thing, and now it's not just a rock that has it; it is this sadistic, maniacal, destructive individual.
There's parallels to be drawn between Infinite and a number of other characters, whether intentionally or otherwise.
Mm-hmm.
So like the Heterochromia thing is a parallel to Abraham Tower, who, is the commander guy throughout Shadow the Hedgehog and the Sonic Adventure 2 timeline. He's also got this line that he says to Sonic, calling him, I think it was a filthy rat.
Yes.
Which only one other character in the Sonic universe mentions and likens Sonic to a rat, and that's Eraser Jin from the storybook series.
Yeah,
and I
specifically
think that was the Sonic in the
Secret Ring.
The 7 rings, right? Yeah, the rings.
Yeah. I just saw
which I thought was kind of interesting. But like a piece of me is like thinking of there's also a number of other characters in that we've seen in like the comics and stuff who specifically use the power of a gem to give themselves special powers. Like Chaos is obviously one who used his Chaos Emeralds. What was it? Finitevus in the comics, at least. Not Finitevus. Finitevus uses the Warp Rings.
Yeah.
Which is not technically a gem.
Yeah, and then
we had Starline.
Exactly. Starline
who
with
had
the
the Warp
Topaz.
Also in the comics. So like there's there just seems to be a lot of parallels of either things that have been done before, whether intentionally or unintentionally, being like, oh, Infinite relates to those people in some way, shape, or form. And I'm trying to think like his ability to be able to create copies or pocket dimensions, that seems to be unique. Or maybe not actually. Come to think of it, because when we were talking about the Echidna tribes, we were talking about the Twilight Cage, which is a pocket dimension.
Yeah.
And did we figure out who? Like, was there a certain person who made the Twilight Cage?
The precursors believed the cage to be a prison for dangerous and powerful races designed by a godlike being called Argus.
Argus.
The validity of this hypothesis has yet to be determined.
Argus being a large tentacle beast. At least from this image I have from Sonic Chronicles: The Dark Brotherhood.
Yeah, because not much is known about Argus, except that it's supposedly the entity who is responsible for sealing the Nocturnus clan, the Zoa, the Kron, the Nurgle, and the Voxy, and presumably many other alien races inside the Twilight Cage. Its name comes from a voice that the Echidnas from the Nocturnus clan heard in their heads after they were torn away from Earth, which said something like Argus.
Interesting. So in that way, okay, so if we are to say that the Twilight Cage, another pocket dimension, was created by a godlike being, Argus in this case, Infinite having the power of the Phantom Ruby to create a pocket dimension of sorts is almost godlike in a way. He's got godlike powers. And we kind of touched upon that in the Chaos Emeralds episode. We were talking about varying degrees of power. There seems to be a hierarchy of how powerful certain forces are. Sonic forces.
Yeah, there it is.
If you will. But Sonic forces.
Going back to Infinite and looking at the reception of the character himself.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it actually mixed. Because some people kind of thought he was one-dimensional and had like just a weak backstory and premise. But others, like, I think Infinite's cool. You think Infinite's cool. We think he's cool.
Dude, yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, I gotta say, there's not a lot of character development for Infinite.
But then again,
he gets beaten down and he never lets it go.
Too much character development for like any character in the Sonic franchise.
I mean, if I have to be bold to say, Shadow has had a lot of development.
Yeah, I would say like Shadow is one of the only ones.
Yeah, not even like Sonic's remain more or less the same. There's a lot of iterations of Sonic, right? Tails more or less the same. A lot of the characters are just kind of flat, and I mean that in a grand scheme of things, not like within certain games.
Yeah,
but like Shadow over time has gone back and forth between things because he's complicated. That's what edgelords are supposed to be like.
He's supposed to be complicated. But no, everyone else is kind of stayed flat throughout the games. And I feel like that is okay for at least a like, I hate to phrase it like this, but a consumer point of view. Totally. Because it's what you expect.
Yeah. People get to fall in love with Infinite the Jackal for a little while. They get to sell their merchandise. They sell their game. They kill him off, or maybe not. If they bring him back, if he's got good reception. Clearly 50.1%.
Make plushies, make toys. Pretty good. Market it.
Make it so that there are people out there who decide to take upon the role of Infinite the Jackal and start their own YouTube channel where Infinite the Jackal faces himself in the video games.
I'm sorry, what?
I found an entire channel on YouTube at Infinite the Jackal Squad with 52,000 subscribers, where it's kind of, I believe they're a VTuber that uses Infinite the Jackal's like visage and plays video games, including Sonic Forces. I love the concept.
I love that, but I'm willing to bet they have to play other games besides Sonic Force, because I feel like
there's a bunch of things on here, and it looks like they haven't posted anything the last 2 years and so, but it like honorable mentions. Infinite, you live on out there. You do. and we appreciate you.
You live on the internet, therefore you will live forever. You will infinitely exist.
Did you get my slide whistle? It was for your joke.
I did. Oh my god, you're playing his theme on slide whistle. Can we get an official cover of that? Just infinite on slide whistle. And we can't forget,
Wait, what's that? What do you got there?
Oh, it's Omega.
It's Omega.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. Speaking of which, Omega was the first bad dude that Infinite smacked down.
Yeah, like the big ones were him and Silver.
Yeah. Well, Silver's, that's just
well, and Sonic as well. Actually,
fair,
Sonic
fair.
Twice. When Omega was repaired and stuff. Oh yeah, Omega was pissed. But then again, I feel like that's default emotion for Omega at this point.
Yeah, not a lot of character development in Omega either.
Well, no, he's gotten more. He's gotten sassy. I mean, the whole I call dibs.
Yeah, that was funny.
Oh my god, I love that so much. Just this robot bent on destruction. It's just like, I call dibs.
Yeah, it was so funny. I saw a meme recently, and it was I think it was Shadow zooming into the passenger seat of the car. He went shotgun, and I'm guessing Omega outside is just like,
I called dibs.
You did not call dibs.
Yes, I saw that meme.
It might. I don't think I see Omega in the comic strip at all, but in my head, it's Omega saying this to Shadow.
Oh yeah, I think I know I saw a meme recently where I know it was like it showed Omega and it's like, you did not call dibs.
I'm gonna find this. I'm gonna find this right now. All right, this is not. Oh no, there. Yeah. I got it.
Send it.
It's one of those motivational poster memes, and there is Omega is just like outside the window.
Yes, that's it. That was this meme was posted on the official Sonic the Hedgehog YouTube. I remember this.
Oh, that's where I found it.
Yeah, because
that's what it was. I saw it on Instagram.
No, because I wanted to grab this. I wanted to send this to you.
Just you know what? That picture is from the official Sonic Facebook page.
Excuse me.
That's great.
I love this meme.
Oh my god! I love this comment. Oh. Somebody goes, "I don't think Omega can even fit in the car."
That's even better.
Oh my gosh! There's another. I think this is just like a clip from the it was from the Shadow Origins
the
thing.
Dark Beginnings.
Yeah, because somebody else put another screenshot of it up there. Oh, that's beautiful.
Oh man, honestly, like,
dude, we haven't dove into the E series yet, have we?
No, I was just about to say next episode.
Dude,
we talk about the E series because I
was gonna say there's so. Please let me take this opportunity to say, look at all those Eggman's robots.
Leave them to me, Sonic.
We should. I feel like there's so many of them, but we could totally talk about the E series specifically.
Because E series, we have two. We have two main notable characters. We have like half of a third because we got Omega, and then we have Gamma and Beta. Yeah, those are like the big three, and then we have the others of Epsilon, Zeta, Delta. I don't know if we ever dealt with Alpha.
Evidently, the members of the E series, according to the wiki, is Gamma, 0, Beta, Mark II, Gamma, Delta, Epsilon, Zeta, Eta, Theta, Sigma, Phi, Omega, 1000, 2000, 2000R, 10,000A, 10,000B, 10,000C, 10,000G, 10,000Y, 10,000N, 10,000O, 10,000R, 10,000S, 10,000P, and the Egg Keeper.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
So there's a distinction between the E100 series and the E10,000 series.
Yeah, oh my gosh.
Apparently made an appearance in Sonic Riders.
Yeah, because
it was E10,000.
E10,000G. E10,000G and E10,000R. because they were unlockable characters, and of course I mained them.
they
E10000G
named it
was
for
a power character,
colors.
and E10000R was a speed type.
I see. Yeah, you know what? I never played Sonic Riders.
Bro, are you serious?
No, I haven't.
Bro! Dude, next time you're over, we can play.
Dude, series? Playthrough series together?
I mean, sure, why not?
Yeah, boy!
Oh! That's who E100 is. Oh!
Wait, save it! Save it for the next episode!
Yeah, no, definitely. Next time,
Oh my
we're
God.
talking about the E100s.
That's all we got on Infinite for this episode, I think. Am I right, Lycos?
Yeah, I would agree with you.
That was a pretty little short one there. Short and sweet, just like our little Jackal's lifespan.
What's the lifespan of a jackal?
Apparently not as infinite in his name may imply.
Wait, now I gotta know.
Yeah, how long does a jackal actually live for?
The average lifespan of an Anubian jackal is 280 years.
Holy shoot!
I don't think Anubian jackals are real, though.
Well, apparently jackals can run up to 40 miles an hour, 64 kilometers per hour.
Jackals
fast.
typically live 10 to 12 years.
Oh,
Except
okay.
golden jackals, a type of jackal, live 8 to 9.
Wow,
But can
did I
live up to
know?
16 in captivity.
Wow. Everybody, I was Cameron with an X. You can find me on Twitch, YouTube, and a bunch of other places. I do cocktails and video games, and sometimes I talk with this guy over here, Lycos.
Yep, LycosLore. You can
LoreX
find me
podcast.
on YouTube, where I'm either making weird videos. Actually, no, I'm just making weird videos. That's all I do.
That's so good, man.
Yep, and we'll see you next time.
Till next time, lore keepers.
I said I called dibs.